Yep, thank you. So my job then is to introduce Anu Makinde, who's been with us this summer. Anu, it's been such a pleasure to have you with us. I think you really rounded out our team. I've so appreciated your ability to do cold calls without being prompted, to stay organized, to ask difficult questions. It's been really obvious to us that you have quickly grasped some of the nuances that we're wrestling with. So appreciate you and your work and this photo, which I get the pleasure of explaining to folks. So apparently Anu went to Cuba as a high school student. The host family that fed them dinner that night had a pet alligator. It looks like, or maybe it's I think it's an alligator, correct? Decided to give diners an opportunity to hold the alligator, and it looks like Anu decided to take on the challenge, which I think is maybe symbolic of who Anu is. So thanks, Anu, and I'm kicking it to you.
Thanks, Jen, so much for that introduction. Hi, everyone. My name is Anu Makinde, and this summer I was a fellow with Burlington Electric Department and Vermont Gas Systems, and I was looking at energy efficiency in new American communities. So this summer I learned that even though sustainability is for everyone, it can be really hard to include groups who have usually been excluded from this. So I chose to represent this with energy efficiency and new American communities, the title of my project this summer being the tip of the iceberg. But really there's so much more lying beneath the surface, whether it's me learning how federal policies impact how people in subsidized housing reach energy efficiency programs, or how a lack of culturally competent messaging impact how new American communities learn about energy efficiency and how they can reduce their energy burden. Next slide, please. So what's happening in Burlington right now? I wanted to display how there are so many groups, whether it be between immigrants, refugees, or first-generation Americans who fall under this new American category, doing work already to provide services with each other and see how they are working together. I wanted to display this with pictures of groups who I either had the chance to meet with over Zoom or who I hope that BED and VGS will talk to in the future. I think it's going to be important for them to build on the relationships that I started, listen to the ways that they experience energy burden, and assess how programs have failed them in the past and how they can work on this in the future. It is easier said than done, though, as a big problem that I found was a lot of new Americans are hesitant to trust authority figures. So even when I was reaching out to these groups, sometimes they were hesitant to speak to me because they've had instances where people only want to extract information from them and don't really intentionally set out to learn the problem. So I think creating trust is going to be really important, which is something that not a lot of people think of when they think about the energy sector. Next slide, please. So what sustained me? This is a question that we got asked at the beginning of the fellowship, and I wanted to think about it as I finish out my summer program. I think it was really easy for, I think a lot of us can relate, to be emotionally drained, staring at a computer all day, not really being able to talk to people face to face, and really dealing with two pandemics that are going on in the world right now and in our country. But I think through the people who I was able to connect to and the people that I met, I learned that change is possible. And I really saw myself creating a future in sustainability. And I just want to say thank you so much to my mentors, Brian, Tiana, Katie, and Jen. And thank you to UNHSI so much for giving me this opportunity and supporting me throughout the summer.